Kendo Podcast episode 181. In this episode, I want to talk about what we can do when we are in slump.
Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com.
Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 181. Just brief something to share with you. We had a East Central Kendo Federation Tai, which is a Johnson Cup, and also Shinsa, and that went very, very, very great. And of course, there are participants and also the supporters. And without supporters who work very hard to make these things happen, we cannot even have anything going. So I really appreciate their help. And of course, if there are kids, there are also parents or caregivers. So I really appreciate their support too. And I always think, when it comes down to this type of event, you can't really do much by yourself. So, when people get together, things can happen. So I really, really feel these like cooperation or link between people. So I really enjoyed those events, and everything went well, so nothing major happened, so that was great. So I really enjoyed these events over the weekend, and I really appreciate the important thing is, I think, friendship, and also keiko after in those events are really good, of course. And then Daini dojo, the second dojo. And I want to talk about something we always have, not always, we all have slump. We do kendo almost every day, right? And it's a part of your hobby or part of your life, and you train certain days of your week, right? And because we constantly do every day, almost every day, and we have biorhythm too, right? Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't feel good, sometimes you feel good and then go down again, up. No one goes up and up and up. Sometimes you get sick, things like that happens to your kendo as well. So what can you do when something happens like that? Now, kendo and your real life, aren't that different. What would you do when you don't feel good? Maybe you don't feel good because you're sick. You don't feel good because, something is going on in your life. Always happens. Something happens, always. So in kendo, when you're in slump, number one thing you can do is nothing. Okay, take a rest. Don't even think about going to kendo. Okay, just take a rest. Do something to change your mindset. We sleep. We don't really, we don't stay up 24/7, right? So you need to rest. That's a normal thing, isn't it? You have to sleep. Even people who work really hard, they have no time to sleep. You need to rest. You can't constantly work 24/7, 24 hours, and then 2 nights in a row. Maybe you can, when you focus and when you have that kind of physical strength and strong mind, maybe you can, but you can't stay awake for I don't know how Guinness record, but normal people, you cannot stay up for like a few days, and your brain needs a rest, your body needs a rest, so your mind needs a rest too. It's a pretty much, pretty straightforward, but because we don't know our mind, it's invisible. And Kendo also has balance, mind and body. We have to have a good balance. So when your mind is down, your body, even though your body is fine, you cannot move as you wish. Your body could move, right? So you need a rest. You have to refresh your mind, right? And then you can just you can go somewhere else. Whatever you can do to relax, or just relax, refresh. So that's one choice. You just stay away from Kendo when you're when you're in slump. And what you can do, other thing is you train a little, push yourself a little more. Maybe sometimes, your body is down, and if you push, you get just slowing down. And if you push a little more, you can keep going. So you can try that. When your body hurts, that means your body is telling you, oh, okay, man, I think I need a rest. So you should take a rest, especially when you're old. You can keep your mind young, but body is really, they are really honest. So if they need rest, they tell you. So you have to listen to your body. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. So, but if you can push, especially, when we get older, our lower body, especially legs and, lower back, we need strength. We lose strength, so we have to gain this strength back, or we have to maintain what we have now, because things are going down and deteriorate pretty quickly as you get old. So we have to do something about it. So okay, if something hurts, but okay, you might, like me, my shoulder hurts, but I can walk, so let's walk. I cannot run because my back is back injury, because of my back injury, so I cannot run, so I can do something else. So that can pushing you a little bit more might help you. It kind of refresh your mind as well, so it might work. And also do something different, in Kendo, or like it's kind of something to do with pushing yourself a little bit. Do something in your Kendo. If, let's say, I don't do really. I mainly instruct, so I have to, when new people come, new person come, and I have to really focus on teaching them. I don't want them to develop bad habits from the beginning. So I want to make sure they do the right thing. So that reduces my training time. So instead of doing jigeko, I could do not kakari geiko. I don't want to do kakari geiko, like uchikomi. Just moving my legs forward, or something, like something, do more suburi. The suburi is it's nothing new, but so something you don't do at normal training, you could do that, like oikomi or something, something. So you can do something, but without hurting yourself, of course. So that is another thing. So you can push a little more in your daily practice. You do something, even when you do normal training routine, you can push you a little harder, or you can do totally different things. So you can your body will be a little bit happy, it's not something we always do, so it gives some stimuli, and that's something you can do. Okay, so nothing at all. Stay away from Kendo. That's one thing you can do, and you can push you a little harder, and like I said, you can do more suburi, or you can start just jogging or something. You can do something, and you can do the same thing but a little pushing harder, and totally different things in training. So you can do something. You can subtract something. Oh, let's not do some. Maybe my body is getting tired, so let's not do this. So it depends. No right answers. So you have to try what works when your body feels like this. I need to do that. When my mind feels like this, I should do that. So you have to come up with something that works for you. And I usually work from home, so I don't get to go out often. So I have to remind myself, oh, let's go out. So I can get the sunshine. That's refreshing, so I can keep working. So something, little things works. Sometimes nothing works, sometimes something works. So you have to figure out what works best. So eating, maybe drinking something, listening to music. So something might work. So it's about balance. Your mind and body, if they don't go together, you don't really get good result. We all know that. And sometimes we forget about mind because it doesn't tell us, doesn't give us alert like our body does. So that's a hard part. But if you feel, I don't feel, cheerful today. So what can make you more cheerful? Even like it doesn't have to be like perfectly cheerful, but what can you have to lift up your energy. So what can you do? Sometimes like I say, you have to push yourself a little bit, so you have to make yourself happier sometimes. But if you do it too much, like I said, like body, your mind will get hurt more. So you gotta be balanced. You gotta know what works, what not, so you can keep going. I think that's the key. You have to keep going no matter what. Life still goes, and we have to go as well. So when you are in slump, in Kendo, in lifetime, pretty much we can do same thing. It's just different method. In Kendo, we do sword or shinai, and we hit each other, and we have procedures. In your life, maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you don't have something, maybe you have to come up with something. Listen to music, go for walks, something. How can you keep your mind and body in balance? That's the key, I think. So try, if you're not, if you don't have injuries, you can push a little harder, and if you don't feel that works, stop it. If you think it works, you never know, okay? You never know until you try. And when you try, and then, okay, let's push. If you decide, okay, let's push a little harder today, and then see what happens. Okay, and if it came out good, maybe it's good. Maybe it doesn't, didn't come out good, and you can do something else. Okay, one thing: don't push too much. What's too much? When your body tells you. So listen to your body, and your mind tells you sometimes. I think you can keep going a little bit more. But when your mind says that, you have to have the third person. Is it because you don't feel like you're a loser? I don't want to admit that it's hurting. Sometimes you know what I'm talking about, right? Or do I? People might think I'm too weak if I stop right here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what people think. worry about yourself. It's about you. Kendo is to develop yourself, not others. So listen to yourself. That's one of the Kendo purpose, right? You have to observe yourself and then figure out what you're truly thinking and who you are and what you are, so you can understand yourself better. All right, so I hope this helps. Nothing works perfectly, but finding out what works for you is the like finding yourself as well. So let's do that. I'm in a slump at the moment, so I think it's probably biorhythm, or I haven't been training as much as I want to because of the new people coming in. But it's not their fault, right? So I can blame only myself. I don't have to blame myself because of those situation. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? So you gotta come up with something so we can keep going. Thank you for listening. And I started new series at Patreon, which is the membership site of Kendo-Guide.com. It's kata, Kendo Kata series. So if you're interested, please find it out. Okay, check it out. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo for Life.